What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Tide Talk. It's Thursday, August 21st. It feels like deja vu, and we just did a podcast. I guess we did. But we're back to talk RAFC's 1-0 USL Jagermeister quarter-final victory over Birmingham. Discuss the semifinal draw, share your takes, and more. Just a reminder, each episode is available on YouTube, and if you're watching now, please take a second to subscribe to our channel and smash that like button on this video. You can also find us on your favorite podcast applications like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you listen on one of those, we'd really appreciate it if you took a minute to leave us a 5-star rating and a short review, as it helps more people find Tide Talk. One last plug, if you're not already, go check out the RAFC Club Collector app for some RAFC fantasy action. Enter the code TideTalk25, all lowercase, all one word, to get an exclusive pack added to your collection today. I'll also say there is another exclusive Tide Talk code floating around out there. The sickos who joined us at High Motor last night, and definitely want to thank everyone who came out, rolled through, and ate dinner with us before the match and listened to us talk and maybe interrupt their dinner. They got access to that. That video is available on YouTube. It's a YouTube exclusive for those of you on the podcast applications. So if you would like to add some more cards to your collection, go check out that YouTube. You don't have to dig too deep to find it. It's in there, but there is another exclusive code to help bolster your club collector collection. So cozy up, crack a bear, and let's dive into this one. Ryan, how you feeling after High Motor and $4 Bear Night?
A little tough day for me. I never got to eat at High Motor with the show going on, so I think those couple beers and the Jaeger shot, got directly into the old bloodstream. But feeling on the mend at this point. How about you?
Absolutely. Doing pretty good. I very low key day. Actually have tomorrow off, so I went in for 2 days. I got to design practice basketball uniforms today for the team. That was the highlight of my day. Try to figure out the Rubik's Cube that is my new schedule. I will say that I got to High Motor right when they opened, just because with the full intention of I wanted to eat beforehand, and the Italian beef lived up to the hype. It revved all the way, if you will. Very, very good. The drinks were great. The atmosphere was great. I know we had like up to 50 people in that tiny room at one point during the show, and then more people in the hallway poking their heads in. So big shout out to Irvin and the Defiance for showing up there, making it a really cool atmosphere. Much more enjoyable walk or march to the match from there. Hopefully we can do that again. Hopefully we can make it a Jaeger Cup tradition. I know we had we cracked Miller High Lifes as our opener on that one and did a shot of Jaeger live in front of a camera, and we talked afterwards, and I think our conversation was it tasted like college all over again.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely disgusting. But hey, if it brings us luck or it brings us victory, I will do it again, folks. That's my promise to you.
Absolutely. We did try to, for those of you who couldn't make it, we did try to do it live, but we ran into a technical tug that did not make it work. So we were kind of just focused on getting it, but it was recorded. It is uploaded, and the quality is very good. It came out very good. So make sure you go check it out if you haven't. If you just want to see what it's about, there's another Jagermeister Cup home match that we'll talk about in a little bit. So maybe we'll look to do it again to shoot some more Jaeger with you guys. And big shout out to Irvin for joining us and doing our over-under section, talking about the atmosphere he wanted in the stadium, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And big shout out to our guy Natesky, who came on and led the RFC chant near the end there. So it was overall just a really good experience.
Yeah, and big shout out to High Motor. Pretty new bar. We honestly just pitched them the idea really quick when we heard the Defiance was going there, and they were super open to it. They were unbelievably helpful. They were dealing with their own brand new menu last night, going through it, and
down some staff too. So
down some staff. So yeah, really shout out to them. The place is awesome. I've been there a few times now. Before games, after games, the chicken wings are great. The Italian beef's great. The hot dogs are great. So get in there. They got some great beers on tap. They got some Guinness. They got some good stuff in cans. So overall, awesome vibe.
Yeah, last time we were there to kind of check it out and prep for the live show, Ryan was very confident he was going to split the G, but hammered the over on that one and went way too deep. But
listen, I was feeling really cocky after Ireland. I was feeling real cocky.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. All right, so let's look at the starting 11 from this one. We had Koke Vegas and net, Iman Mabika, Yao, Baccarat, Sanchez, Ibarra, Corcoran, Amos, Quezera, Chico, and Maxi Rodriguez. What do you think when you saw this 11, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I think you called it out pretty well on the show that it seemed like it was kind of a mixed 11 with a lot on the bench, which I thought was interesting. Again, it kind of goes back to the way we've been talking about these 11s coming out, where you're like, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. Wait, what about this? Where's Clay? Where's this person? Where's JJ? Things like that. So, this was definitely a team that on paper could definitely get the job done. But obviously there's some swaps I would make, but at the end of the day, it definitely was enough firepower on the pitch to get over the line.
For sure. I've got a few, I'm not going to doom on this, but I've got a few kind of downer points with, Kano was on record as saying he would not rotate keeper in this competition, that the cup competitions, US Open Cup and Jagermeister Cup, were Jackson's competitions. We've seen Koke come back recently with tremendous form, really kind of carrying some very good saves and keeping the clean sheets. So you have to wonder something about that. And then again, to see Clay on the bench and Amos starting at right back really intrigues me. I feel like the Clay that was our defiant 1636 man of the match last year is now essentially our second choice right wing back and maybe fifth or sixth choice midfielder. I said it last time on here that I really expected to see anytime Amos starts at right back, get Clay into that midfield. We talked about the Ibarra and Corcoran redundancies, and they kind of played a different role last night from each other. Ibarra, I feel like it was much more advanced than we were used to seeing him. But for Clay to not get in it for this one, I think it's kind of worrisome. I kind of worry about the longevity of that just kind of on Clay. It'd be really nice to have a proper right back like Stephen Turnbull and the performances that he's put in Rhode Island. I thought he was very good again last night. He put in a couple dangerous balls. He had a nice hold-up header that he laid back for someone. But we're square peg, round hole with this whole right back situation, and it's essentially forced our most versatile, which maybe Amos is becoming our most versatile with Clay, kind of being sequestered to the bench. But I do have some worries about Clay, and I think this could be kind of the beginning of the end for him at RFC. I don't want to doom on it too much, as we did pick up a win, but I will worry about his lack of utilization and him wanting to progress and develop further as a player and actually play the game versus being second choice right back and whatever fifth, sixth choice midfielder.
Oh, geez, that lot going on there.
I wanted to get that out of the way early.
Well, I'm going to start with the redundancy thing, because that's a comment I've made a lot, but I actually have a follow-up, more redundant thing going on, is the fact that Maxi and Mark Ibarra look identical from far enough away at this point with the same haircut.
So you were there. You were there when I asked Ibarra post-match. The big question that people want to know: do you guys go to the same barber? And he dispelled that myth. That is not true.
Yeah, immediately. Unbelievable. He said Maxi lives too far away, which honestly was the most Rhode Island thing I've ever heard someone say, which I love that from Mark. But yeah, so that's number one. I think either Mark or Maxi, someone's got to change something up, because it is genuinely difficult to figure out who's who out there. In terms of Clay, so I don't want to, I'm not going to doom on this one. I think,
like I said, I did want to just raise it to the forefront. I'm not fully doomed yet, but I am beginning to get worried.
Yeah. I mean, the thing we don't know is, like, I know that we want Kano to go all in on the Jagermeister Cup, but like, he also clearly, I mean, we have a game in 2 days at this point. Sure. So he had to potentially save some. I mean, I think clearly we had a pretty big, like, we're going to have people share this game. Chico and JJ, Busy, and like Quezera. Like, there's definitely clear, like, they're going to be like, we're going to make all 5 subs or all 4 subs here. So, yeah, I'm not super worried yet. I mean, I am not enjoying Clay out of the midfield. Quite frankly, I think there's a pretty easy solution here. Like, the way that we'll get to Hugo's performance, the way he's playing, it's like, just stick him at right back. If he's going to go run up the pitch anyway, stick him at right back, get an extra midfielder in there. Stop having Amos or Clay run up and down the wing, and just let Hugo do that, since he's doing it anyway. So that's the way I would solve that problem. Clearly Kano doesn't think it's a problem, because he is clearly persisting with this formation. And, shout out to Amos, shout out to Clay. Like, they're doing a serviceable job out in that wing. I mean, Amos is running his ass off every single game. Like every time I see him, I'm just like, dude, what a like absolute shift you're putting out there. But like, it's clearly not his number one position, and it's neither of theirs. But they're going out there still doing the job. So yeah, it's I can't fault any of them. I don't think this. I also find, again, speaking of redundancy, I find Quizera and Sanchez being on the same wing redundant. They're both trying to go outside and kind of swing a ball in. So there's a lot of things I can nitpick with this lineup. But at the end of the day, like Kano thinks this is what's going to get the job done, and it did last night. So yeah, we'll see what he does on Saturday.
I want to address a few things in the chat because Andrew Quadros said the same thing.
The rumors Tyler's been spreading about me in the chat, because geez Louise.
No fake news here. Andrew Quadros brought up essentially the same point when I presented this to the Tide Talk group. Martin says, I think Clay was just getting rested as he played a lot. Tyler said, to be fair, we have been doing some squad rotation. This is 2 in a row at Clay at the bench, and both times subbing on at right back. So that's just why I wanted to raise it and kind of just something to keep an eye on. Like I said, it's starting to worry me.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, it's like I don't have the minutes played by season, but like Clay has to be like our number one, potentially up there still. So maybe he is. We also, the thing is, we never know. There's no like good reporting on this kind of stuff. Like he could be carrying some kind of knock. Like JJ's entire left leg was like completely taped up in different ways. So it's always really hard to understand exactly what's going on with each player, what's going on in practice. You know, we know Connell really, as we'll get to later, takes these things like really seriously. Like if you don't practice well or you're struggling in practice, like you're not going to make the starting 11 in different ways. So yeah, a lot behind the scenes that goes into this that we're unaware of, but you know, let's hope that it's rectified on Saturday. Let's hope that a lot of those guys that got a big rest last night, then we see on Saturday. Cause I think a lot of them clearly made a big push for the starting 11.
Sure. You know, Kano does talk about that. We'll play a little bit of his presser too that addresses that as well. Early on, I thought we looked a little shaky. We had a very nervy moment at the back between Hugo and Koke. There were the string and slew of back passes that we've gotten accustomed to seeing over the last few matches, putting the ball at Koke's feet under duress. And, you know, Koke is a fine sweeper keeper. He's very good with the ball at his feet. But the distribution definitely dropped off with that pressure. And I think Birmingham, to their credit, pressed very well early and kind of forced that ball back and created it back. But we are very, you know, used to doing that and playing that now. But I think Birmingham's press, you know, could have led to some opportunities. Luckily for us, it did not. But a shaky start, and I think it was kind of more of the same.
Yeah, I mean, so this was my first game watching the full thing in 116, which was very fun in a lot of ways. But one thing that was particularly a lot more adrenaline got running is like Koke was those backward passes. Like we were like feet away from Koke. These moments of Koke
you see how close the defenders are bearing down. You know, it's
like I don't mind it. Like, you know, maybe it tired them out. Clearly the rain, I'm sure, like really messed with the field and messed with the players' perception of, you know, maybe the ball's a little slower than normal, maybe it's a little slicker, maybe a little quicker. So yeah, at the end of the day, I thought we dealt with it fine. You know, their press was definitely, I would say, more annoying than anything. I don't think it really caused a ton of trouble for us, but yeah, I mean, they clearly came out with a game plan to try to get at our back line, and they almost got it, but I think we did enough, and Koke is good enough with his feet back there that he kept us out of trouble enough.
Yeah, and you know, I think it kind of continued in one point that it, you know, really continued at was when Pasher picked up that hamstring injury and was subbed out in the, I believe it was the 16th minute, but he came off in like the 11th. So we actually played a man up for over 4 minutes, and during that 4-minute spell of a man up, we were only able to pass the ball into the Birmingham box once, and it did not lead to a completed pass. It was just passed in once.
I mean, if there's one thing we know about this team, we do not enjoy playing against 10 men. It's our least favorite thing to do. We would rather play 11v11, which is a very respectful and honorable thing. Like our boys are, they're proud men out there.
Sure. I think the thing that drove me nuts, it wasn't just the backwards passing that we saw a lot of. It was also a lot of backwards dribbling. Corcoran went on quite a few long dribble runs backwards, and it was just there was one point where he passed the ball back to Mabika, and Mabika was slow to advance the ball to Maxi, but he could have very easily progressed the ball to Maxi in the same window. So there's just so much backwards and, you know, dribbling, passing that it kind of stalls everything. I think the first half kind of played out where we were really trying to run it over the top, and there was nobody there. I think Chico had a rough game with kind of leading the line and not running into space and, being the recipient of the ball. There was a ball Maxi played beautifully over the top that he just never ran at. So I think the game plan for the personnel of that was on the field for that was a little rough to watch, and it just kind of felt like more of the same.
Well, it goes back to like the fact that all season we just have lacked a attacking identity completely. We have not figured that out at all. And then again, we keep throwing these lineups out there, and like most of the players have played with each other, but there's always a couple guys. It's like, well, he hasn't really played there a ton, or these two people haven't really combined a ton, and we're trying to have this new group figure out an attacking strategy or an attacking identity, and it keeps just not working over and over. I will continue to say I think here is a flaw with the way we're set up. I just don't think we're set up in a way that we get enough attackers into the attacking places to progress the ball. But at this point, it just be us repeating ourselves over and over again. It's great win last night. Glad we got the goal, but we did not solve all the problems, unfortunately.
I will say, as much as early on I was worried with a lot of that backwards passing and dribbling, I wasn't punching myself like Kevin was. But there was, I think we did have the bigger moments in this one. There was a really good chance in the 33rd. Quizera just skied it, but it was a really hard fought win in the box. The defender tried ushering the ball out of bounds. Quizera battled, kept it alive, got himself a really good angle because the defender went to ground, but then just absolutely skied it. Mabika had quite a dribble run in. He went through like 3 or 4 Birmingham defenders. Finally, the center back stepped up, wrapped him up, and threw him down. And Ibarra put in a beautiful ball to Hugo on the free kick that led, that from the fall that Mabika drew. Hugo did the whole like leaping, lunging header trying to get it, and it was a pretty powerful header. Quizera also had another nice opportunity in the 44th where he was on the end line and he put a ball just to the edge of the 18, and Hugo came and hit it with a right foot volley. Just couldn't get enough power on it. But I thought Quizera was one of the bright spots in the first half. I think overall he had a very solid game. He caused them a lot of fits kind of in different channels and created a lot of width that we needed that eventually helped lead to a goal. But, I think we had the better chances in the first half, just nothing too far, to get us into a scoring position.
Yeah, I mean, I know we'll get to the stats soon, but we had a big chance created, which is wild times for this team. Obviously, we missed it, but you absolutely love to see that. I also thought we were trying some interesting stuff. I have absolutely no idea what Hugo was told to do in this one, but again, he was just kind of freestyling and doing stuff. Like the amount of runs that he made from right center back through the middle of the field, and he was almost on the end of a couple of really interesting opportunities. So yeah, I liked it. I think we grew into this one. I don't think we started particularly well, but we clearly grew into this one. And then it's Quizera. Like he's gotten back, I think, the past 2 games or so to some of the stuff that we saw made him a really dangerous player last year for us. He was, outside of Noah, our kind of chief creator as well as him. So I think we've seen more of those cutbacks, a lot of getting to the byline and trying to get the ball across, which I think is what made him so dangerous last year. Also attempting some more shots out there. So yeah, nice to see him getting back to the Quizera that, I think made us a more dangerous team last year. So again, some positive signs here. I don't think we fixed everything, but I think there's a lot that the team can take, especially from a 0-0 half into moving forward.
Before I go to the first half stats, I have to address the Quizera slander in the chat, because I think, like you mentioned, this was Quizera of last season performance, maybe one of his better performances of the season. Played all 90 minutes. He completed 47 of 52 passes at 90%, created a chance. He had that one big chance missed, 74 total touches, 2 in the opposition box, 2 successful dribbles, 7 passes into the final third, 2 accurate long balls. He won a tackle. He had 2 clearances, 4 defensive contributions, 7 recoveries, won 5 ground duels, and drew a foul. I thought Quizera was great. I thought he was, like you said, very much last season's Quizera in this one. So I did have to address that Quizera slander in there.
Yeah, and the other thing I don't think he gets a ton of credit for, like, is he the best defender in the world? Like, no, but like he'll put in a shift for someone who's primarily a winger in his entire kind of playing career so far. So they have to give him a lot of credit on the defensive end as well for the effort there. But no, listen, at this point, like one of the things Kano's talked about this season is that our kind of main guys haven't been. I can't remember the exact quote, but like basically like our best players from last year have not been as good as they were last year is the paraphrase of that. And I think Quizera would have probably, I think honestly to himself would say the same thing. Like he hasn't been at the same standard he was last year. But again, I think we've seen some positive signs and I will take them wherever I can find them at this point.
Absolutely, Archie. I love that take right there. I have it in my
Oh,
notes
we'll get there. I have that in my
for the
notes.
second half. I talk a lot about long distance shooting, so we will definitely get there. But as promised, first half stats for this one were 69% possession for RAFC, 2 shots, both were off target. They had the one big chance, missed it. 292 passes at 90%. We never see that level of completion for RFC. 101 at 72 for Birmingham. I will say the level of pass completion probably inflated by the amount of backwards passing. Both teams were pretty even on fouls, 8-7, and we had 1 corner for none to RAFC. I will say that center official Brad Jensen, sorry Joe Burns, I'm going to go there. Really, really rough watch. I think he did better in the second half, but my God, was this guy so inconclusive or indecisive, I guess is the better word, on when to blow the whistle. I think he let the Birmingham bench dictate multiple foul calls. He was late on all of them. It just really, it was a tough watch with him in the middle, especially after like actually seeing a competent center official last time out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stats, especially if you look at this first second half, are really interesting. 69% possession is pretty insane to have. Also, 323 passes is an absolute ton of passes. In the second half, we only had 200 there. So clearly, we came out with a different idea of how to play the game. A lot less of those kind of backwards short 1-2s that really weren't going anywhere. So I think it was a good adjustment coming out of halftime from Kano, and I think it ended up paying off in the end there.
Yeah, the Quizera slander is coming back in the chat from Andrew Quadros. Go back a few seconds, listen to the stats, go on FOTMob, click his player profile for the match. It's totally. I'm doing stats again, Ryan. What's going on with this?
And I'm over here just like, hey, you look good out there. Like, hell yeah,
man. So second half starts off, and 2 minutes in, to get back to Archie's points, we saw a really nice long distance maxi rip in the 47th from outside the 18. The keeper had to dive and parry to save it. That's the type of stuff we want to see more of. I always want to see more of. We saw a lot of it last season, as we started to gain steam and start winning matches instead of drawing, because a lot of those shots, spillage, baby. I was going to bring it up. Anything can happen. You got poachers in there. It's just good stuff. Like we never see this team shoot from long, but Maxi really started going. And I think a lot of that was Aldair really created some width along with Quizera, and it opened up some of those middle channels.
Yeah, sorry. Quadros got me good. Yeah, so I one thing I really liked is that Maxi was really picking up that kind of half space. Really, where like the D from the 18 is, and then the outside the box there, like there's this little half space area. He had a couple shots from that area, and it's one of those places that like we got some good service from there last year. We then brought in Maxi, who operates really, really well in that half space when he gets there. He has a great shot on him, and then he can really create chances and do 1-2s around the edge of the box. So yeah, to see our team start to find him there, I think is going to be really impactful and something that is a replicable thing that we can do. We've literally seen him score from there already. So I was excited about that. One strange thing I kept pointing it out to people that Maxi was doing, and I hope that the team rewatched the tape because I thought it was fascinating, was he would do this like give and go in the middle, and then he would do like almost a wheel route. And if you're a football fan, like going through the middle of the pitch, and we just were never looking for him over the top there. So again, he was someone who was trying to do different things, trying to kind of add a different offensive look to this team. So again, hopefully that was planned by the team and they just weren't finding him, but also hopefully if they rewatch the tape, they can see that. Cause I think that could be yet again, another dangerous weapon in our toolkit.
Right, and he had another long rip 3 minutes later in the 50th. It was a little bit deeper. Keeper actually caught it, not struck as well as the first one, but still a positive to see because we just have not seen that from this RAFC squad at all this season.
Yeah, there's clearly some kind of, the team came out in the second half again with a much different way of playing in some ways. They only had 2 shots in the first half, 0 on target. We had 6 shots with 5 on target. We had 2 big chances created in this half. So again, these are in a season not full of a lot of positive offensive kind of metrics and signs. I think this is a step forward. Again, it is not all fixed, but more shots, a little bit more dangerous passing, a little bit longer balls every now and then, kind of mixing it up. One thing that does help is when we get that kind of the subs that we'll get to. I think they really made a difference. But again, there's some pieces there that you can kind of see some potential bright spots. It all comes down to what happens next game in this one. But I do like a lot of the things that we saw here.
Absolutely. And, Martin says in the chat, JJ made the difference when he came on. He was definitely a big difference maker. The subs, as predicted at Tide Talk Live at High Motor, had a huge impact on this one and really kind of changed this game. It was a much different style of play to watch in this one. We saw Haraval come on, get the assist. JJ Williams came on. Busy Atkinson came on. Noah came on in this one. So if you look at it, you got 3 attacking subs coming on in this one to kind of change it. And when JJ came on, he actually came in for Aldair. So you're pulling off a wing back and throwing on another striker to get out there and hopefully see this one through.
Yeah, I absolutely love that from Kano. I like that he I think that's a really big message to his team.
It was going for it.
Yeah, exactly. We're going for it. And I think all the subs really made a difference. I think, obviously we'll get to Busy, but JJ especially, I mean, Martin says it. JJ made the difference when he comes on. Chico works hard. He does a lot of good things, but JJ is just such a different beast that the other team needs to deal with. And we saw it, especially even at the end with the red card there, but his hold up play, the ability for him to kind of play a lot of those midfielders and wingers who are trying to get in, I think is just a different level to Chico. And I think, it just makes our offense just that much more dangerous. This team was originally kind of built around him being that centerpiece. And, one thing that people have said all season is once he's back, our offense is going to be fixed. And, we've always said that probably isn't going to be the case, but he just clearly makes us a lot more dangerous out there.
Quadra says he was going for it, putting your best attacking talent on the bench to start the game. We'll get to that with Kano's presser and maybe why, some of that was true. But I think our point of going for it was totally via the subs and, being in a 0-0 game and throwing on some attacking talent to really try to win it in advance in this competition.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that has been tough this season is sometimes you look at the bench and it's just like, we literally have nothing to get in, to put in there. We have a couple more midfielders and a bunch of defenders to throw in there. So seeing that we actually had offensive options on the bench, I loved the fact that we can power up throughout the game and throw different things at the defense, especially a cold, rainy, shitty night. They're going to be tired. They're not going to be loving it out there by the 60, 70, 80th minute. And then you got someone like Busy Atkinson running at you who's completely fresh. That's going to really change how the defense and the other team is feeling versus, okay, we just swap 2 defensive midfielders for 2 defensive midfielders. That's not going to make you super nervous in the 80th minute.
No, absolutely. And I won't give you credit for this one because it was Irvin and I in the pregame show that really dropped the Busy line quite a bit and kind of hyped that up. So I'd like to think we helped manifest that and channel some good vibes. So
listen, I did say it was me 1-0 from a wet wonder goal. So
you did. So let's take a look at the goal that did make it 1-0 and Dwayne Busy Atkinson opening his RAFC scoring account.
With his new teammates, but just a different looking player to have to deal with for Birmingham. And how do you meet those questions? And you get a lot of energy from those 3 that want to make an impact. Obviously, Dwayne Atkinson is going to want to acclimate himself to his new teammates and make that impact and be that difference maker.
This is Atkinson. He's on the end of it here. Atkinson for Rhode Island. He scores! There's your impact. That is what Dwayne Atkinson can do. Rhode Island's new reggae boy puts them ahead in the Jagermeister Cup with a brilliant, brilliant goal.
And right on cue, take a bow, Dwayne Atkinson. This ball over the top, and it's this relentless pursuit of the ball. And what he does is he puts his body in a position where he has the defender feel like he is going to the left, or his left, the defender's right, and then strips the ball from in behind. But you have to meet this play with composure because you have runners coming across the box. And he does just that, tucks this one away. Just a few moments.
So I got to say, first of all, and Martin said it in the chat, what a ball from Haraval over the top, just knowing he's going to go out there and chase it. And Atkinson uses every inch of his body on that to win it. I think the commentator nailed it spot on. He kind of baited the defender to thinking he was going to take the outside route and then stepped in front and boxed him out and won the ball. And I think the keeper and the defender trailing as well must have been convinced he was going to square that ball to JJ. I thought from our angle, I was like, oh, this is going to JJ for a tap in. But for him to win that ball, finish it, and then as Sarah says, kissing the badge after only being here for a few weeks on that goal, I think was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think to Martin's initial point around Haraval, I think we talked a lot about JJ being out for a while. We've talked about Koke being out for a while, but he's been really in and out of this team all year, and he's somebody who, we talked about last year, the adult midfield, and he was really a game changer and kind of one of those reasons that pushed us over the edge last season. So nice to have him back. Obviously, it's tough that he's kind of being relegated to the center back role a little bit, but that does show the impact that someone with his passing range and ability can make in that deeper area. But yeah, Busy. I mean, we heard about kind of how much of a kind of dogged presser he was, someone who's electrically fast, someone who's really going to go out there and push. And thought that was lovely. I love our attackers being a little selfish there and just going for it. Sure. I think honestly it was his only option. The keeper and the defender, as you said, both were covering JJ for some reason. No one, if I was the other team, I'd be like, why is no one going to the person with the ball in the box? But I'll take it. And then, yeah, kissing the badge. As someone said in the chat, I'm an absolute sucker for it as well. I mean, I'm not going to say who I'm excited to see kiss the badge in a different team soon, but yeah, I absolutely love it. And I actually have to say, like, from that broadcast, like, it sounded loud as hell. And shout out to Defiant, shout out to the absolute sickos who were there. Attendance was not super high last night, but I genuinely was like an electric atmosphere, which you could tell the players like really, really appreciated afterwards.
I did want to say that as well, in rewatching. If you were there last night, I would say go watch at least the first 2 minutes because every chant is picked up crystal clear. It comes out and it sounds really, really loud. It sounds really, really awesome. So big shout out to the Defiance and all of that for creating the great atmosphere. I will say fuck the haters and the trolls on Twitter who said there was less than 500 people there. Not the case. It was not the 3,700 or whatever RAFC announced by any stretch of the means. I will say the club level was absolutely packed. Mm-hmm. The boxes were packed. The overhang areas that are on the camera side were also packed. So there was a lot of people off camera in that one as well. People claim that they want to grow the game in New England, but also want to talk shit about the team and not give them any kind of credit. So stay away from the trolls. Don't even engage. But there was definitely more than 500 people there. I don't think people were using their college degrees to count the number of people. But
I'll be honest,
Tyler said it.
I think I might have started that rumor by accident on the QC. But one thing I thought was a strategic masterclass was they didn't shoot the like TV footage from the normal spot. They did it kind of a little lower so that they didn't get a ton of the Riverside seats. I thought that was an A+ move by those guys. And to be clear, the club didn't even sell Riverside seats. They didn't even try to get anyone in there. So that was not some like sneaky thing, last minute decision. So yeah,
I kind of wanted to go into one of those sections by myself and just be like that guy.
I mean, I wanted to just go sit up in 205 by myself. What a moment that would have been. But I have to, again, going back to the game, and probably why I don't remember half of it is just like being in 116 is an absolute madhouse. I just am way too trying to get too involved with the chanting and everything going on and just talking to people, and it's just an absolute blast. If you haven't taken in the game from there yet, like get in there, like next Jaeger semifinals, like get in 116. It's going to be an absolute party, and I can't wait to be there as well.
It's going to be a Saturday too, so that's even Even
Is it
better.
really? I don't think so.
I believe so. No, am I wrong on that? All right,
Mm.
scratch that from the record. Matt's claiming 1,500. I think anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 is probably a little bit more like it. We got Ryan on the megaphone last night. It was good stuff. There was some good chants. There was some different chants picking up steam. Like you said, it was just an electric atmosphere down
At
there.
one point, I thought I was going to throw Graham over the railing, but we were partying.
Absolutely. So really good stuff from that busy goal. RAFC able to see it out in this one. Birmingham gets the red card in the 90+1, and the coach is sent off as well. So always love the no, hey goodbye chance to that. Final stats for this one: 63% possession for RAFC, 8 total shots, 7 for Birmingham, 5 shots on target, 2 for Birmingham, 3 big chances, 2 missed. 467 passes at 87% for RAFC to 237 at 77. 19 fouls for RAFC, 16 for Birmingham, 3 corners apiece. I think early on this one was chippy, so the referees' indecisions were, pretty glaring and it coming out with that. But I do think that it settled down in the second half. Obviously, Birmingham had their own issues with the Reds and all of that, but good that we're able to see it out.
Yeah, I mean, 3 big chances, man. We're living. This is huge. Missed 2 of them too. That means we're due next game. So absolutely loving that. I mean, I think it was a hard fought game. It was always going to be kind of gross with the weather the way it was, and it just really seasonably cold. I listen, with these kind of competitions, it's survive and advance. It's get it done at all costs. And I think obviously exciting to score the goal. Busy's going to get a lot of the credit, but I think all of our center backs were really fantastic in this one, as well as Koke. So huge shout out to them. They were just absolute rocks back there. They've been rocks all season. Our defense is one of the best in the league, and nice to see them, keep that up. And it's one of those things, especially in a cup competition, if you can really be secure at the back, you're just always giving yourself an opportunity to get that one goal you'll need to get over the line.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about, Busy and, kind of why he might be on the bench, but here's Kano's voice kind of giving his thoughts on the goal, the performance, and, maybe why we haven't seen him start. Although, the signing did come a little bit later, but we know he's been training and with this team for quite some time.
He works, he's lively, he's a nuisance, he's a pest. He's intelligent too. He certainly has, and he knows that he has things to grow and develop and get better at, but his attitude is fantastic. His teammates love him, so he's been a really good addition to the team, but I think there's so much more he can get better at, so that's up to him. That's a lot of the questions and the discussions that him and I have is how good does he want to be, because he can be really good.
What's that next step in his development? What do you want to see from him while he's here?
Consistency and a lot of it looking games. I think in both games he's came in, he's been pretty impactful, but a lot of development will take place in practice. And we had a discussion about practice this week, it's important. So it just, with how deep we are, nobody should assume that they're going to start. No one should assume that they're going to be in the match day roster. Like, if you don't practice well, if you go in the game and you score a game-winning goal, obviously you're going to be in the match day squad, but you have to practice well too.
What do you make of this, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, clearly Kano wants to push him. We've always heard that Kano is someone who takes the off the pitch side of the game just as seriously as the on the pitch side of the game. So, clearly he wants a bit more out of Busy on that side of it. But also clearly, I like, that was a great follow-up question from whoever asked that, in terms of like, what do you want to see from him? And I like to hear that Kano's looking at it from a growth perspective, from allowing him to reach his potential, which is a great mark of a great coach. So hopefully Busy can keep it up. Hopefully this just gives him the momentum to keep it going and to be the spark that a lot of us thought he might be when we signed him. Obviously, there wasn't a ton of information about him out there, but a couple interesting tidbits that sounded encouraging. And he's had 2 interesting cameos so far, and really need to see what he can bring out there in the derby on Saturday.
Absolutely. Timmy says, need Busy to start. Sarah says, I would love Busy, JJ, Clay, and Maxi on Saturday. So all very good stuff there. I think a
Calm
lot of
down.
us
Calm down.
a lot of us would as well. Busy did get the Defiant 1636 man of the match. Did you see it any differently from your perspective, Ryan?
I mean, you score the late goal, it's always like it's always going to be that person, unfortunately. But there's been a lot of shouts for in the chat for both Mabika and Yao. I think both of them were absolutely fantastic.
Studs.
I just saw a stat quickly for Mabika. Yeah, he won the most duels in the match, 11 on the night, and he had 97% passing accuracy at 62 passes. Like that's pretty insane from a center back. Yao 90% passing accuracy, 2 of 2 on dribbles, which is awesome. But two tackles, 5 of 5 on ground duels, 3 of 4 on aerial duels. So again, there's absolute rocks back there. The two of them have, in a weird way, quietly have had a very, very strong campaign. I think they've really become a fantastic duo at the back there. And we have Hugo joining them, who also had a really great game. So I wouldn't be shocked if this back three is kind of what we see as long as they're healthy throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I know people are justifying Busy's man of the match. We're not disputing that, but I do think there were some 90-minute performers that were definitely worthy as well. And, Mabika and Yao go to the top of my list as well. Mabika was our highest rated FOTMOB player with an 8.1 rating. Just a really good performance from the two of them together. And like you said, I think they have this kind of understanding of how each other play, and I think they complement each other very well.
Listen, you can never go wrong with the guy who scores the game-winning goal and the late goal and kiss the badge. I mean, that guy's going to win a lot of in a voting type system. He's going to win a lot of points. So, listen, he played to the crowd. He got his award, and he well deserved. But yeah, like you said, especially the defense here, I think really stepped up and were fantastic.
For sure. We'll switch gears a little bit. We'll take a look at the socials and your RIFC and 3 responses, along with good, better, best. It's been a while since we were able to do one of those. So as we read through those and get to it, if you haven't already, please hit that like button on this video. In the Defiant 1636 Discord, Sarah P had RIFC and 3, 116 fucking rocks. So Sarah was sitting in 1-0 whatever, behind the RAFC bench. And I think the 4 other people not named Matt Hands in her section complained that she was standing and too loud. So she decided to come over to $4 Bear Night and High Motor Night and enjoy the supporter section and contribute in the supporter section. And it was great seeing her there. I think she had a great time, that she would admit as well. That was really good to see. Matt, in his commitment to the bit, stayed and blogged. I wanted Timmy to add the two of them to his player ratings and give Sarah a much higher rating for, getting into the fan zone in this one and really kind of helping create that atmosphere. So really good stuff. Appreciate that RAFC in 3 as well. Her good was spending most of the game drunk in 116, yelling whatever I wanted after getting kicked out of 104. So I gave you the backstory there. Better were the $4 Angry Orchards. Best was Busy Boy. And maybe I'll have a better one in the morning when I'm sober. So she didn't get back to us, for the record. Our friend Leo had his good backline, limiting dangerous chances again to keep us from getting burned by a struggling offense. Better, Hugo's forward runs and involvement in the attack, mainly in the first half. Best, Busy was wasting little time opening his account in an RIFC shirt. And his RIFC in 3 is 1 by 1. And I think we're definitely at the point, and we said it in our pregame with Irvin as well in the live show, that, we just kind of have to take things one match at a time, as we did some over-unders for wins as well. So, if we keep taking this one match at a time, hopefully get some momentum, hopefully get hot, and could lead to silverware, could lead to a late playoff push. And if you get in the playoffs, anything could happen. We also had from Leo that was his RFC in 3. Taris is good was another clean sheet by Koke. He had a really nice save in the second half as well. In this one, his better was Atkinson making things happen. Best, we are on a cup run. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. And his RIFC in 3, we want the cup, not 3, but I don't care. How drunk on the Kool-Aid of this cup run are you, Ryan?
If people go and watch the live show, you'll quickly find out that I'm not incredibly drunk. I think I feel better about it last night. I think we got the tougher of the draws of the semifinals. Sacramento's is a tough nut to crack. I talk a lot about our defense. Theirs is the best in the league. So That's going to be a really fascinating game. We already saw a glimpse of them at Centerville Link Stadium earlier this year. So, listen, at this point, it's anyone's game. It's a semifinal, and from there, potentially a final. And again, 2 cup games, 1 goal in each game could really turn it either way. So, I'm not fully. The Kool-Aid's sitting on my desk, is what I'm saying. I may crack the Kool-Aid next time you see me, but I am not fully slamming at this point.
Okay. Our guy Nateski's RFC in 3 is rain equals win. His good was the pregame show at High Motor. Appreciate that. Thanks for getting up on stage with us too, Nateski. His better was atmosphere. Support us SG members 116 in the rain, undefeated in the rain. And his best was Atkinson and Koke. Survive in advance. We want the cup. Love that. We have Tyler with his RFC in 3. Let's get busy. I like that. That's in episode title contention, Tyler. Well done. We have Andrew Quadros with RFC in 3. Wins are fun. Few and far between, but they are certainly fun. Clark's RFC in 3. 2 to go. His good was busy taking a guy's lunch money. Love that too. Better and actually putting a shot on net. And best 116 coming in so strong on the broadcast. I felt like I was there. Like I said, if you were in attendance last night, you can go on ESPN Plus. The USL Jagermeister Cup is a separate category. Once you click soccer, click that. The game is on demand. Go watch the first few minutes. You can really hear the chanting and everything from all the noise coming from 116. Patrick McKenna's RAFC in 3, section 116. Love that it's getting so much love from all of the people who wrote in on this one. Andrew Gomes, as good was everyone that braced the cold and rain. It wasn't cold. I had my shorts on. It was good. Better was the Koke clean sheet, and his best was busy getting rates of business and pushing ahead for the winning goal. RFC in 3, tarps off promised. RFC in 3, we are sickos. There might have been a fan code of conduct violation there, but it was well deserved. There were a couple of pops topped in the section, which is all for it on a cup knockout game.
Oh, I was 2 minutes away from calling the cops. We're lucky the whistle blew. I was getting Andrew Gomes. I'm watching you, brother.
He covered up nicely with a scarf. I'll say Zach was probably guilty of that as well. But that we've got Timmy with his RFC in 3. Dwayne Busy Atkinson, good 3rd consecutive clean sheet. Better low attendance around the stadium, but Defiance was lively as ever. Best subs changed the game. That moment from Dwayne was special. Maybe the best we've had at Tidewater so far, Ryan.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Timmy wants to know, was that the best moment we've had at Tidewater so far?
I think that's going to be one at the end of the season. I think the true sickos are going to really look back on with a lot of pride and a lot of love. I think that first win is always, I wasn't even there for it, so I can't comment on it, but I think that one's going to also really be up there for people. And then I do think, I said it last night in the live show, the opening day I think is also going to be a special one. But listen, we have another chance to make an even kind of bigger splash, a couple Wednesdays from now. So let's hope that one's the best one yet.
Yeah, let's keep going. Or the cup final even, so we can continue to.
I'm like, listen, again, the Kool-Aid's on the desk. The Kool-Aid's. We
can continue to edge closer to it.
I will shotgun the Kool-Aid if we win against Sacramento. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, all right. We've also got our friend Martin, who was there in his Tide Talk raincoat as well at the live show. I have to say, last night,
we keep talking about 116, but 205 showed up at 116 last night. I'm very proud of my 205 brethren. We came in droves down from the bleachers down there.
To the bleach, yeah. You guys get fancy seats up there. RFC in 3, finally getting busy. Good, finally competitive for 90 minutes. Better, busy, showing everyone else where the goal is. What a finish. And his best was through to the semifinals of the USL Jagermeister Cup. Andrew Hill's RFC in 3 was but is E. I love it. Good stuff there. Thank you to everyone who wrote in on the Defiance 1636 Discord. We'll switch gears over to Twitter and anyone who wrote in on there. We have one from Kevin at Fluffy Callhog Boy. River and Tide is his RAFC in 3. His good is meaningful substitutions. Better is Atkinson's goal and through ball assist from Harival. And best is RAFC's Cup dreams are alive and well. And then last but not least, we had on Facebook, my page just kind of clicked out on me. Give me one sec to pull that back up. Chuck and Phoenix, his good was got the W. Better, hopefully Sacramento hosts, and I make a work trip around it. Not to be. Best. That's 3 in a row for Koke. He alone makes me a believer. So thank you to everyone who wrote in on our socials. If you are new to Tide Talk, we've had a lot of new subscribers this week. We post the socials on post content stuff, post match content on all of our socials, asking for your takes on the match. You can follow us on every major platform at Tide Talk RI. So make sure you are able to log on, share your takes, or if you're in the Defiance 1636 Discord, you can share it on there as well. And get it all in there. So a lot of good stuff coming from the socials. Let's take a look at the draw. So we drew Sacramento Republic at home. Hartford drew the Greenville Triumph at home as well, setting up a potential El Clamico in the USL Jagermeister Cup final. What'd you make of that? And before, actually, if you haven't already, you can go check on our socials or tidetalkri.com. Matt Hands wrote a nice blog kind of encompassing the draw and everything it entailed.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think we got the tougher of the draws. I think Sacramento is a very good team. You know, they're up there in the Western Conference. They have the best defense in the league. Vidiello has been playing absolutely fantastic. He's the leader of the Golden Glove right now. But again, knockout football, anyone's game, and like of all the things, like we also have a absolutely fantastic defense that's going to give us the chance to win it. So, hey, hopefully we can keep the momentum going. We have a couple winnable games coming up, and if we go into that game hot and keep it up, hey, hopefully we can then move on to the next round.
For sure, I did say in our pregame that Sacramento would be the one team I wanted to avoid in the next round, as they are second in the West, I believe, and Vidiello is having a hell of a season in net. They are very tough nut to crack. I think that's one where you could be looking at a late goal winner either way. You could be looking at penalty kicks. I think that's going to be an absolute rock fight. William Lamb, Sacramento fan, is in here. Be aware for Messi's Roro's Messi-like goal. I hate that nickname. I think Roro makes you sound like a dog, golden retriever. I think it's absolutely horrible. I think I said it after we played them as well. So hopefully that doesn't come from him. Hartford also dealt a pretty big blow today with Jang getting poached to the MLS to Minnesota United to link up with Morris Duggan. So it'll be interesting to see if their momentum is able to carry on. We'll see it on Saturday and then see how they perform versus the underdogs in this competition, the Greenville Triumph.
Yeah, hey, the magic of the cup is still alive. Absolutely love a League One team getting it to the Final Four. So, more power to them. If next game, if they make it past that, and we do, obviously, I'm not going to be as romantic about the magic of the cup run then.
Yeah, for sure. I do think the cup competitions is where your league form kind of goes out the window like a derby as well, and anything can happen. Like I said, there was the one team I kind of wanted to avoid in the semis, but I think there's still a lot of faith and hope, especially in hosting, that we can get through in advance on this one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, the whole thing about the cup run, and it's interesting. I never really thought too much about this, but the playoffs of the USL is also very similar to a cup run. Obviously, in the European leagues and stuff, it's whoever, like at the end of the season, is top of the table and gets the trophy. For us, you then kind of go into a cup competition, and again, I think we have a team that's set up well to could win on any game. So hey, going on this one cup run, maybe could potentially propel us on another cup run later on this season. But lot to go before I again, I'm talking about like the Kool-Aid sitting here. I think I just slammed it while we've been talking, but.
So you said, and Sarah brings up a good point, SAC has a terrible schedule before us. Maybe that'll be beneficial. So we'll see how that plays out as well. You said the cup run Kool-Aid is on your desk. And now you mentioned a totally different beast in a playoff cup run. Where is that Kool-Aid located?
I think it's like intravenously flowing right now. I have no idea where this is coming from, especially if you heard my take about this like a little over 24 hours ago.
Mine's still at the store. I haven't bought that. Like I haven't even purchased that. It's not on my desk. It's not in the fridge. It's not in the car.
The craziest thing, this is a non-alcoholic beer too. I'm not even drinking. I don't know where any of this is coming from right now.
True champ.
Not a boy.
So Martin wants to know, do you think we see what presumably the league set up for? Do you think we see an El Clamico final? Your gut, your heart, give both.
Honestly, no, because I have like some faith in Greenville. I think Greenville might pull it off against Hartford. I think losing Zhang is going to be really big for them. I think
It's either going to
potentially-
be a solidifying moment for them or
Mhm.
the beginning of going off the cliff.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it starts Saturday for them, which we'll probably talk about that very soon. But yeah, I want to believe in the cup run until they come up against us. So I'm gonna say no, El Clamico final.
All right. I think we see it. I think we see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it. So we have.
I think I'm saying that because I don't know that I can handle it. Is the issue?
Sure, that's fair.
Like, I don't want it. That's just gonna be a agonizing day in a lot of ways.
Hopefully, it would be at Tidewater. That would be the best thing we can hope for on that one.
Yeah, I only want to go to Hartford once a year. That's for sure.
So you mentioned that we're making the trip on Saturday. We got a lot of the Tide Talk crew heading down. I know there's a good amount of RAFC fans heading down as well. What are you looking forward to most about this one?
Quite frankly, I think we got some wrongs to right with the Derby. I think both of them left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths for a lot of different reasons. Post game antics, the sanctions coming out of them, Wankgate. So I think Hartford's feeling really good about themselves. They're on quite the winning run, and I think it's the perfect moment for us to kind of quite frankly like a little bit of a season defining moment of are we gonna make this run or not? Like at this point, we have 10 games left. This is the start of a run of some pretty winnable games, and if we're gonna do it, we have to go now. So hopefully, last night gives us some momentum, and the boys really put on a Derby performance because man, would that feel nice to kind of get back at them for all the bullshit that we had to deal with for those the Jaeger match and the other league derby at home this year.
Yeah, I think we have a lot more to prove in this one. So I hope that the hunger kind of comes out of this team, and maybe we've been saying all season long, like, could this be a turning point? Maybe this could be like we keep saying it sound like a broken record with it, but it's
the other thing about turning points is they can happen anytime.
That's it. It's a Derby game. It's form goes out the window on those, and I think there are a lot of players that are really fed into the atmosphere as well in this one. So hopefully we come out and are able to take care of business and get the 3 points down in Hartford. So
listen, I know there's a lot of wanking in the chat happening right now, fellas. Holster those for we gotta stay strong. Holster those. We want to watch get through the full 90. So just keep the wanks to let's coordinate there.
You can keep going as long as you just edge it till the end, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
so,
don't go full Siaha, as they say.
Yeah, don't shoot low too early. All right. Any final thoughts before we hop off this one?
I just I don't know if I have to get ready properly for how much of an asshole Siaha is going to be on Saturday. Every time I watch Hartford now, he is always doing something that I'm like, holy shit, this guy just cannot contain himself. And I think he's going to be at an absolute 10 on Saturday. So I think as the Defiance, we need to cook up some good feedback for him this week. So but excited again. This could be the turning point. This could be the momentum, and I'm really excited. And an away day is always fun. The Tide Talk caravan will be in full force, so I gotta always love that.
Absolutely. Before we do sign off, just want to reiterate: if you are a Club Collector sicko, we have a exclusive code, a different code, a new code that was revealed last night on our pre-match live show at High Motor. That one is a YouTube exclusive, so go check that one out. If you haven't, to get that code, we're not going to spill the beans. You got to do a little bit of work on that one. Click that thumbs up button on this video and on that video when you get there if you haven't already. But always fun talking to Win. And, we try to look for the positives and hope we're able to ride the wave and go on to some bigger things throughout this season or the remainder of this season. But that'll wrap things up for this one. Remember, Tide Talk is more than just a podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for daily social media account. Follow us at Tide Talk.
He's right. We haven't done score predictions.
Oh, all right. I'll go first. 2-0, Rhode Island.
So I said 3-2, Rhode Island FC. I think this could be the it has to break at some point. We're gonna have that one game that's gonna happen, and I think we might just get an absolute fireworks in this one.
Yeah, I think we start seeing some goals. I think we see a different starting 11 that we've seen. If you want to throw yours in the chat as well, we'll get it up here before we sign off. But I think, like you said, we get a lot to prove in this one, and it could be some good stuff. We've got a 2-0 Hartford from Kevin. We might have to kick him out of the chat right now. Tyler's got a 1-1. William Lamb's got 2-1 RAFC. So I think there's some healthy optimism in this one.
Actually, I think I might be with Timmy. I think I do like 3-1 a little better. I think 3-2 is a little pessimistic for our defense. So,
yeah, that's it. Martin's got a Koke clean sheet and agrees with me, 2-0. So,
beautiful. Hey, I will take any of those scores except for Tyler's and Kevin's. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it there from Matt Hands. I'm not going to say it out loud, but you can read it. But make sure you go follow us on all those social media accounts. You can click the link in this episode description to follow them all. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight and joined us at High Motor. We appreciate all the support and feedback we got from this one. We've got a really cool short of our predictions out on the socials now, so go check that out as well. And we'll chop up some more and get them out. And Ryan decided to leave early, so this isn't actually me kicking him off. This is probably him trying to make me look like Timmy, but I am not turning red. I am not sweating. I am cool, calm, and composed by myself on the stream. I didn't go Timmy is what I was saying while you were gone. I can handle that. Just remember, this started as a one-man show, so I've got plenty of experience in this. That was
we should do a throwback where you do a one-man show, just for the absolute true Rhode Island FC Nation sickos who were here from day one.
If we get a positive result in Hartford, I'll do it in the car on the ride home. Because that'll be alcohol induced as well, so that'll be quite fun. Well, we had our double pivot moment, but that'll wrap it up for this one. I've been your host, Matt, for my good friend Ryan. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you next time, and as always, up the tide.
Up the tide.